Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're having a lovely day. On this channel, many times when we talk about repairability and serialization of parts, you'll hear people say, well, I like the idea of serialization of parts. If somebody steals my phone, I like the idea that every single part inside of it is not going to be usable by a thief. I like that Apple protects me in this way and discourages theft. And one of the things that many of you may have noticed over the past probably year now is that there are a lot of people advertising these iCloud unlock services that purport to get around iCloud unlock so that you could take a device that was iCloud locked and then use it again. These services are everywhere on YouTube. You will find them on Twitter. You will find them on Reddit. There's a bunch of these FMI off things, which is find my iPhone off, pretty much everywhere. And somebody managed to notice this and kind of tell the pattern after a bunch of devices were dumped on the used marketplace, lowering the price of everything else, and decided to report this to Apple as a security issue. If one of the primary security features of the iPhone is that if the iPhone is lost or taken, that the owner of the device can lock that device so other people can't use it, and it's this easy to get around, that you'd imagine that this is a serious security issue. And that does not seem to be the case in my opinion. So what I'd like to do with this video is show you some emails that a large reseller was sending back and forth with Apple and the response that they got, and you tell me what you think of Apple's prioritization of security when it comes to this issue based on these emails. So this gentleman said, "You never got back to me. Any news?" Apple said, "Thanks for contacting us. Apple takes all reports of potential security issues very seriously. Please provide additional information on your issues, such as steps to reproduce the issue and the behavior you expect versus the behavior you see, so that we can investigate." And the gentleman who sent this noticed that this was obviously a canned response by somebody who's completely brain dead because, as he said, asking me what behavior I should expect is in my book not something we should even discuss here. It's pretty clear that an iCloud locked device, clean or lost, should not become FMI off by a random person. Thank you, sent from my iPhone. Then we have the next email where he showcases one of these advertisements. Here's one more post someone did. Have a look. It has a bunch of iPhones here. I need to install ReadTool to his Mac every 10 minutes now. He reads, he sends these files to me. If you reach 20 to 50 to 100, that's on him. Tool takes 20 seconds to read iPhone on hello. Server will be online 30 to 60 minutes a day. Maybe one day won't be available, next day will be. If some phones not read and not send will be done next day. Payment upfront, US dollar tether. So you need to send IMEI list and check that they are clean. Zero tolerance policy on lost or stolen, only clean. Single orders, can't do anymore as I lose time and money on single orders, so only bulk quantity. Only read files via tool that I install and send to me. Files are only valid for 10 minutes, so when read, do not change name. Do not read again, do not be slow. Read 10 files and send and start again. And it goes on in seemingly broken English. These are the instructions and the advertisement for the service of getting an iCloud locked phone to work again. And the gentleman who was dealing with Apple says, "Hello, since the iCloud Clean Instant Unlock service has stopped, I will explain the method used to remove all the latest speculation and rumors. In Apple, there are 3 levels of after-sales service employees, or what is known as the Apple Repair Center. Each level has its own account to access the company's servers, Apple servers. These levels are used in the operations of repairing customer devices, whether they are software or hardware, each according to the powers granted to him. Among those operations is to unlock the devices in which iCloud protection was activated, whether they were lost, stolen, or the user forgot his account information. These levels are 1. GSX, 2. Apple Connect, and 3. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose it. To protect these accounts from hacking, the company protected them by using the personal device identifier, the UDID for the computer or phone, as when an employee was hacked or his account information was stolen or someone used it. The account will be closed for security reasons and thus impossible to hack and use. These levels are arranged from the weakest to the strongest, and what matters to us here is the second level, Apple Connect, which enables its user to unlock locked devices in 2 ways. For forgetting the password or the account as a whole, of course, after the employee confirms that the information provided by the customer is correct, in order to cancel the connection of the account to the device from the company's database. And from it, the service that was used in the past few days to unlock unreported iPhones was done by an employee of a company who owns an Apple Connect account. One of you will say, "How is that?" And you say that the device must be with the employee during the opening. Simply, that is what made this person create a simple command program that reads the activation request files from the device and sends them to him via Telegram or WhatsApp, and unlocks the device the moment it reaches him. Thus, he has fulfilled the condition of the presence of the device with him. As for the reason for stopping the service, there are 2 possibilities. The first is that the company realized the unusual movement in the employee's account, or that he was deceived by customers by sending files the devices reported as lost or stolen due to the large number of requests coming to him from countries all around the world. Sorry for the long post, and peace be upon you. And Apple continues to just say the same thing over and over again. Please provide additional information about the issue, like steps to reproduce and the behavior you expect, and blah, 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 blah. And then there's the last email. Hi, Apple. After several months of this nonsense going, and after a lot of money we lost because of these lost devices being unlocked, flooding the secondhand market, driving the price down, and making honest businesses like us lose a lot of money, and still today, nothing was done from your side to even consider stopping it or even rewarding us for bringing this matter to your attention. We are able to find one of the wallet they were using to take payment. We have a full picture of their operation. We can tell you is they've been generating about $2 million of unlocking every 2 days, meaning that since the last 4 months, they made over $180 million. This is just what we were able to track, but we are sure the picture is much worse than this. So what do we do now? Will you consider our report valuable or just toss us around? Thank you. And again, same nonsense over here. While we have already forwarded your report to the appropriate team to address the issue, we recommend reporting this to blah, blah, blah. And now I'm going to read the final letter that they wrote and obviously leave out some information that would allow you to figure out who they are, because they would have preferred to remain anonymous on my YouTube channel, which I am going to respect. This is the final letter that they sent. To whom it may concern. The security flaw we are reporting is a continuation of previous reports, with a case number, regarding a flaw in the Albert activation server dating back to September 2022, and is extremely complicated, but we have provided the necessary details below to make it as clear as we can. We would preface all this information that our goal is for Apple to acknowledge our finding as a security threat to the Apple security system integrity, and fix it by giving credit to us in the patch notes as you always did in the past, and pay us the bounty for uncovering this flaw. We acknowledge that for any number of reasons you may not want to fix it, but we would like you to recognize the security flaw exists and consider enumeration. Our preference is, of course, that it is patched and this flaw is no longer usable. We believe that Apple is aware of this, and as long as customer personal data is not being shared, the service will not stop because it drives more users to Apple. That is what we have learned during our investigation. Put bluntly, more iPhones being stolen and then illegally activated worldwide means more iPhone sales. Our business, Anonymous Inc., earns money buying and selling clean and legitimately acquired devices from auctions of hard-working companies. The current flaw bypasses honest businesses like ourselves that prefer to only deal with legitimate devices, by others acquiring iCloud FMAI on devices that have been stolen or lost by the respective owner, or even clean, and then using the below service to turn off Find My iPhone. Now, there is an accusation towards Apple that I'm reading in this letter, and the accusation appears to go something like this. The more that people's phones get stolen, the more people buy phones, the more revenue for Apple. Pretending that they care about stolen phones as a selling point for a feature that increases sales because people believe they're safer is a way to make money. However, if they are going to ignore reports like this for going on 8 months, it really does beg the question as to whether or not Apple does actually care. Personally speaking, I don't believe that Apple is ignoring this because they actually care about their bottom line and selling more phones if it's easier for phones to be stolen. I genuinely believe that it's just an idiot. Again, was that person at the Genius Bar really looking to screw over that customer from CBC News? Or are they just too stupid to realize that pin 1 being bent means you're not going to get a backlight? That guy did not benefit in any way, shape, or form off of billing CBC News $2,000. He is not paid on commission. The reality is that a lot of what we may say is malice is actually stupidity. Where I believe it becomes malice is when somebody higher up on the chain sees that people who are lower down on the chain are doing something stupid, and that when they see that that thing that's being done that's stupid just so happens to benefit the company, decide to not fix it. But I don't think that this email back and forth is actually because the person on the other end genuinely believes that that employee that's reading this customer service email is, that person's going to benefit in some way, shape, or form from more devices being stolen. I really do just genuinely believe it's a crappy company culture where things are not escalated the way they're supposed to be, not dealt with the way they're supposed to be, where at the end of the day, everybody's kind of running around like a chicken without a head, like idiots. And to be clear, yes, this person who is reporting this bug and looking into this, they have a selfish interest. For them, the entire value of these phones that they're selling on the used market is going to plummet if his legitimate business is interrupted by people's illegitimate iCloud lock devices flooding the market. If iCloud locked devices are able to flood the market, then legitimate sellers are going to realize that the inventory they have purchased is worth considerably less now because they have to compete with iCloud locked devices. So the person doing this, again, to be clear, is not doing it solely out of the goodness of their heart. That being said, regardless of this individual's intentions, if there is a flaw in iCloud that allows somebody to just pay a few dollars and have an iCloud locked device turn into an iCloud unlocked device, and these services continue to be advertised with increasing popularity all over the internet on all these different forums, on Twitter, on Telegram, on Reddit, on YouTube, Why is it that one of the world's most valuable companies is completely ignoring it and seemingly not talking about it as if it's a problem when it is? Again, the defense that I will read when many people are against right to repair stuff in r/Apple is, I don't want people that steal my device to be able to have a device that they can sell parts off of, so that's why you shouldn't be able to fix things. And I think that this is absolutely brain dead. Let's just give the devil their due. Let's say that they actually are buying a device with the idea that they want everything 100% locked down. Shouldn't that device then be 100% locked down if that's what they're advertising? 1. There is an individual, team, or group of people who offers a service called plist FMI, Find My iPhone Off, or Token FMI Off, which can turn any device from FMI on to FMI off, regardless of whether the device is clean or lost. In previous emails, I shared everything that we were able to gather for the past 6 months. A small SSH file is being used to collect the activation XML of the device. Device must have been restored, so it avoids the hacker or mole to not have those devices in hand, thus making it possible to offer this service remotely. This file is then sent to the individual when the order is made and paid for. There are hundreds of websites and servers who offer this service through them. Any individual can pay for their device to be unlocked via several resellers online who then send these orders to the perpetrator. We have tested this service for educational purposes and can confirm it works 100%. A simple Google search of plist FMI off shows you how rampant this service is and how easy it is to access. 2. This type of service being possible, we believe, means one of two things is certain and irrefutable. A. This individual is using an Apple Connect VPN to access a special interest internal Albert activation server port. When you try to activate an iPhone using the plist activation XML, it goes automatically through an Albert, most likely bypasses the handshake. Locked device and Chimera lock policy will fail. B. Someone from Apple on the inside is providing technical support and expertise by allowing a sort of backdoor access to the individual processing the thousands of orders per day that are being sent and have been sent. 3. At this point, we are sure you will try to minimize the size of this flaw by requesting that we give you a more detailed description so that you can replicate the vulnerability for proof. Though we shared everything we had in our previous email, we hope to offer more information in a detailed way one last time. In this circumstance, we can offer you the following in lieu of having a direct, intimate knowledge of the exact way this nefarious actor gets the job done. A. We can provide you with an IMEI of a device that has Find My iPhone on clean/lost so that you can monitor its status. Obviously, log all the interaction with the device and server. And then we will pay for the service so that you can see the device miraculously as the iCloud account removed and its Find My iPhone turned off. B. You can provide us with a device activation XML the same way as they ask any customer to collect the data. We previously shared several emails with you, including the tool they send to dealers that collect that information from a device of your choosing, and we will submit it to the service so that you can verify the service is indeed illegally and illegitimately removing iCloud from devices. Note, we have already previously provided you with 10 unique IMEI numbers of devices that were processed in this way so that you could track the logs of these devices and see how they were unlocked from September 1st through case number 807773063. It is increasingly concerning that this issue is not being taken seriously from Apple. You have asked on multiple occasions for steps to reproduce the above issue, and we have given them to you in copious detail now. We have been reporting this in September 2022, which is more than enough time to look into this and provide us with an answer. Finally, as I mentioned above, we would like the service investigated, acknowledged, and shut down as soon as possible because it represents a significant security breach of the Apple Find My iPhone functionality, as well as it makes it very difficult for honest phone vendors such as ourselves to continue our work. It completely disrupts local market prices. Once the flaw has been identified and fixed, we expect credit for this, as well as remuneration in the form of a bounty for bringing this service to your attention and proving to you that it works. And in having a conversation after the fact with the gentleman responsible for finding this and some of his cohorts, one of the things that he finally said is, I don't even want a bounty anymore. I don't want a credit. Fine. Just fix your effing program, which was a quote from our recent phone conversation. Again, you have stolen iPhone Xs that used to be worth $30 because of iCloud that are now worth $100, and they are competing in the marketplace with people who are actually selling legitimate devices that are not stolen. So if Apple genuinely actually does care about this type of thing, I would imagine that they would probably respond to somebody like this or do something about it, or at least announce it, try to fix it, inform their users that, hey, there's kind of a bug with this whole iCloud thing you may want to know about before you consider this feature 100% secure, since this is what they're selling their products based on. Again, if the idea here is I want to buy this product because with iCloud, if somebody else takes it or anything like that, this device is 100% useless to them, well, doesn't seem like it's that way anymore. And again, if that's a selling point, why ignore this for like 8 months? These services are really everywhere. And to be clear, if you are a repair shop, like I have been explaining for years why it is I don't think that you should deal with any of this. Again, whether it's BIOS, password, EFI unlocks, any of this stuff, I personally tend to believe that you should try to make your money in an area that's a little bit more clean. Again, I much prefer to make money off of fixing broken items that belong to the customers that actually purchased it rather than dealing with this dog shit. This is a video that I did back, I believe, in 2014. This is almost 10 years old. Wiping laptop BIOS, EFI passwords, and repairing bad cell phone ESNs and IMEIs. My argument in this video is that the time that you spend learning how to do all this stuff could be spent learning how to do something that, again, actually adds some value to society, takes people who actually own their device and make it work again. It's more fun to troubleshoot why PM Sleep S4L is missing than to just send a bunch of these files off to some dude on Telegram and pay $1. I think that learning those skill sets is going to be much better for you in the long run. When it comes to just having to problem solve in life in general, exercising that part of your brain is much better than basing your business off of this like stolen iCloud unlocking garbage. I am not a fan of the entire iCloud unlocking thing, but maybe it could be argued that Apple is. I don't know. What's the reason for not acknowledging this after this amount of time? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something, and hopefully somebody at Apple decides to actually do something about this particular case once it is brought to their attention by more than 1 or 2 people. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.